Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's so good to have you here on this week's edition of Feel Good Friday. Yeah, I've been on a little 6 week hiatus, enjoying the summer, doing some traveling, and of course, working on my YouTube channel. So I hope you enjoy the new navigation around it. But you know what? I had reached out to some of you uh, during this break to really ask about some of the topics that you would like to hear about or would like me to speak about. And at the very, very top of that list is relationships or matters of the heart. And so this might be a two-parter, most likely. But I'll tell you that, for me, I will share some of my vulnerability here and let you know that I have always viewed relationships as that thing that connects us to our need to be embraced by love in our lives. I've always believed that we need to have someone in our circle, that special someone that can adore us, respect us, inspire us, to trust, to have honesty and loyalty to each other, to have open communication where you can share each other's thoughts and emotions, kind of like that yin yang thing, right? But I'll tell you, no doubt, I have had my fair share of heartbreaks in my life. And as a matter of fact, most of my relationships, I had some sort of disappointing uh, expectation that crushed my relationship values and made me just really question, you know, how my partners didn't share in my philosophy or my values. But at the same time, I had to say, wait a minute, Larnette, if you have these values, then why is it that you keep repeating that same cycle, those same patterns of those crushing relationships? And for some of my clients, this came up as well. And it was a thought of, why am I allowing the same situation to repeat itself within the relationship that's causing me heartburn, or as I call it, heart abuse? Now, um, for me, my why was that I realized that I needed validation to my who and what I bring to a relationship. I mean, it's kind of like validation to my existence. And how silly is that, right? And for some of my clients, the whys ranged from fear of being alone, uh, old belief systems that were created by either a society or they were religious or cultural beliefs, or they were from their own observations in their own family relationships during their upbringing. But I'll tell you that whether it's validation, fear of being alone, or old belief systems, it's up to you to change it, to change your thoughts around that. It's not your current partner or your potential future partner to change your mindset and your heart set around relationships, because you have got to love on you first. And by loving on you first, it's like when you do that, it creates that infinite link to your relationship reality. Now I hear you. I totally hear you. Well, how do I do that, Larnette? Right? Um, I'll say this. There's two things right out the gate that you should do. And one is to really get super, super clear about your values around relationships. Yeah, it's easy for us to write a list. I want respect, I want loyalty, I want trust. But you got to drill down a little bit further. What does that mean? Because what respect or trust or loyalty means to you can mean something totally different to someone else. So you got to define it. And the second thing you do is that once you complete your list, your defined list around your values, I want you to sit back and take a look at that and ask yourself, how am I applying my relationship values with the relationship to myself? Think about that for a second. Because how can you expect somebody else to meet your relationship values if you're not standing in your own truth about the values around the relationship with yourself, right? And so, as I mentioned earlier, part of my relationship values is honesty, communication, and respect. And I came to a point where I had to ask myself some really tough questions in order to get right with me, which was, how do I be honest with myself, with my inner dialogue around my values, and how can I respect me and honor me in what it is that I want in a relationship? So I'll just say this, those two morsels, those two pieces to walk away with is get your loving on. Get your loving on you. You got to feel good about you first, because that is where the I love ... begins. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll talk to you in a couple of weeks for part 2 of relationships. I always appreciate when you spend some time with me. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel, and we'll talk to you very soon. Throwing some love your way. Bye-bye for now.